Welcome to Embracing Infinity, exploring the infinite oneness in the space of love and truth. Host Jennifer Rose is an international spiritual medium, healer, channeler, mentor, and transformational guide. Her focus is encouraging individuals to know themselves within the lens of their divine heart and highest potential, to evolve within the frequency of love and peaceful harmony. Now, here's your host, Jennifer Rose.
There we go. Hi, everybody. I'm Jennifer Rose. Welcome to Embracing Infinity. And we are on the Sacred Spiral Network. Happy Friday. Happy weekend to everybody. So I hope this day and this time finds you all well and very excited. Oops. I just got an echo. Give me a sec, kids. Sorry about that, everyone. Minor tech issues. I've got my little magic wand from our fairy show, and we're going to see if we can fix my AirPods really quick, and then we'll get moving. Okay, we've gotten off to a good start. Hello, Jess. Welcome to Embracing Infinity. Hope you're all doing well. All right, I'm going to check in the comments. Y'all can hear me okay? All right, let's just start saying hi to everybody first, and then I'll get through to my announcements. So, oh my gosh, that's okay. The energy is big today, so I'm not too surprised. We've got beautiful electric infinite energy that's joined us here today. So hello, Charlene. Hello, Andrea. Good to see you all. Hello, Miss Jess. Hello, Miss Ava. Hello, Jill Santos. Great to see you all. Yes, the fairies are with us. They are. Rosalind, great to see you too. Our Shining Lights. Hello, love that name. Beautiful. Miss Vivian is here too. Thank you. Aloha. Rosalind. Oh, good. Thank you. I'm so happy that you can hear me well. That echo's gone. I'm happy. Kay Weezy's joined us as well too. There's Miss Jennifer McCormick. How are you doing, my beautiful friend? Good to see you. Let me see if I missed anybody. Miss Evelyn, how are you, darling? Happy birthday, Evelyn. Today is Evelyn's birthday. If we could all send her some love. I was filling in for Minty May on the live stream of consciousness last night with host Michael Zinn, who also has a show on Tuesdays, Holding Space with Kelly Brickle with the Sacred Spiral Network. And we found out it was Evelyn's birthday today. So if anyone wants to wish her a happy birthday, we would love that too. So we love our Miss Evelyn. She's always coming in with her, beautiful energy and love and support. So wonderful. So we love you, Evelyn. And I hope today is magical and every day from here on out is even more magical. So lots and lots of love to you too. Manuela Marks, hello. Manuela Marks is my guest next week on Embracing Infinity. Hello, beautiful. She is an amazing medium, and she's an author, and she's a beautiful spirit artist, and she's going to be showing us some of our work. So we're really excited to have her next week. So I'm glad I had a chance to let you know about that as well. So hello, beautiful. Big hugs to you, and thank you for joining me next week. And I'm very, very excited that Nigel Gee will be joining us in just a minute as well. We are going to talk about the beyond becoming present. And as you know, this is Embracing Infinity, and we love the beyond. So I'm very excited about today's show as well, too. And we're going to bring him in with much love, too. Heidi Gull, hello from Colorado. Good to see you. Beautiful. Thank you for coming. Thank you all for your birthday wishes for Miss Evelyn too. She's over on YouTube, but we can see everybody over because Kelly's doing such a good job of putting them up on screen for you too. Robert Macbeth, hello from the UK. Thanks for joining us. Hello. Okay. A couple quick announcements, everybody, and then we'll bring Nigel on. I'm very, very excited because we have such a lovely discussion planned for all of you here today. This afternoon, our producer, Miss Kelly Brickle, Not only she is the producer, she is the creator and owner of the Sacred Spiral Network too. She takes such good care of us. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate it. Yeah, we had so much fun. If anyone wants to catch the replay, it's on my Facebook pages and over on YouTube on the live stream of consciousness too. So thank you. Thank you. We had a lot of fun. So, and sorry, and it was, as I was saying, Kelly Brickle, Queen of Sacred Spiral Network, will be doing the numerology hour today at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, 5:30 Eastern, and 10:30 p.m. in the UK. This coming Monday, Miss Nancy Muratalla, one of my also very good friends as well, and Sparkle Queen, we have our show on Monday evening, Fashionably Spiritual, 6 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. Tuesday on the UK. If you guys want to stay up and be with us, we'd love to see you all too. And that's 9 Eastern as well too. And then, this Sunday, I'm going to go backward a day and then we'll go forward. This Sunday, I am hosting for the Love of Spirit Sunday Spiritual Service. You can sign up on my website, www.mediumjenniferrose.com. The amazing and wonderful Simon Stone is our guest medium. So he will be delivering an inspired address and connecting with our loved ones in spirit, doing the mediumship. And it's our first Sunday service after a break. I took a month off to get a little bit of R&R. And so we're very excited to be back in the loving energy. So we'd love to have you join us. Hi, Veronica. Good to see you. This is Veronica from the online live psychics reading page. Veronica Jenkins is a fabulous medium and is always so helpful with her pages, supporting everybody. And we love her so much. So thank you, Veronica, for allowing us to stream on your page as well. And so please do join us for this Sunday on Sunday service. It's at 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK. And again, you sign up over on my website. 111 Mountain Time. How cool. That's awesome. We love the 111s. We love the 111s. Okay. And then one more announcement, and then we'll get going, everybody, too, is a week from this Sunday, September 14th, I am hosting with 7 other fabulous mediums joining me, California Dreaming. It's our 3rd annual mediumship demonstration fundraiser. We're going to have mediumship, angel readings, animal communication, ribbon readings, psychic readings, and numerology readings. Did I miss anything? I hope not. I hope I got them. But it's going to be fabulous. We're supporting 2 children's charities, Jacob's Heart for cancer support services up in Northern California, and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children over on the East Coast as well. So we'll be all of the funds, 100% of all of the donations will be donated equally to these 2 beautiful charities to help our children as well too. So we thank you for supporting, and there's a good chance you'll get a very beautiful message from one of our fabulous California West Coast mediums. And we've got Lynn Juno, Tracy Peffer, Kelly Brickle, Lynn Juno, Tracy Peffer, Kelly Brickle, Nancy Muratalla, Surya Sawyer, and Karen Perry. And am I missing anybody? Shannon Rattay. She's doing the angel messages. And Miss Suri also will be sharing her live vocals with us. She has a voice of an angel, absolutely beautiful. And she is going to be gracing us with some live music as well. It'll be a lot of fun. So please do join us for that too. It's surrounded and laced in a lot of love there too. So thank you for letting me tell you all of my announcements. Hello to Pamela. Hello to Marie. Thank you all for joining us. Hello to Nikki. Thank you for joining us. Great to see all of you here too. And yes, Jeffrey, we love our Jeffrey. He's a good friend of mine as well. Dominic, hello, good to see you, my friend. So thank you all for joining us. And one more quick thing is we're going to be going big and broad into the infinite today with Nigel too. But I just wanted to share just a little piece, a little piece of something that's going to be a little more 3D here for you right now, is just an encouragement to continue in your daily lives, to keep trying new things and to keep trying things that might feel a little bit hard or uncomfortable. And what this does is it builds resilience and it builds endurance, and it allows your system and your parts of self to learn to adapt and overcome and build that endurance and resilience to all of the happenings in life. And what you may find is some of the things that the universe tends to give us that puts us through hard things, maybe there'll be a little less in frequency or be a little less in harshness, because we have voluntarily allowed ourselves to learn to adapt and keep trying newer things and challenging ourselves. So we're taking it upon ourselves to do hard things, to move through challenges. And when you realize you can do hard things, you're going to feel so incredibly strong and able as you walk your days and steps with grace moving forward too. So it's, if we're trying to always live in the comfort and not lean into discomfort, discomfort will show up anyways. So that's why I say we can take, hi Charlene, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. We can take it upon ourselves to challenge ourselves to do things that may feel uncomfortable. And then we are opening up the energy to allow more of what we're desiring in as well too. So because we're opening up that space, we've already kind of fulfilled that part of us, and then newer things can come in for us as well that can help us to elevate in our expansion. So just that little bit. Hi to Nikki, who's joining us too. Hi to KB, thank you for being here. And Sandra, and Dina, if I missed anybody, my apologies, but I love you all so much and thank you all for being here. So thank you all for listening, everybody. And with that, let's bring in our wonderful and fabulous guest, Nigel Gee.
Hey, hi Jennifer.
Hello, my friend, how are you?
Very well, thank you very much indeed. And thank you for having me. It's indeed a pleasure to be here for you and everybody who's here this evening as well.
Yeah. Hi, Ronnie. It's a pleasure to have you as well, Nigel. And I've seen you on the online demonstrations, the spiritualist services quite a few times. Both of us like to go to the East Grid spiritual community with Sheila and Michael Peta and Michael and Peta too. And I recently got to see you demonstrate for one of their services too. And I think that was the first time I got to see you getting messages. And I knew you were a beautiful channel, but when I saw your messages from Infinity, I was like, oh, it's time. I've got to invite him on. I hope he says yes. So
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's interesting because we'll have a conversation about it, but a lot of information which we just take for granted as being the ultimate is not the ultimate, and there is a beyond. And so it's looking forward to how the conversation unfolds and for the information to it's an opportunity to give everybody here an additional lens to see the journey.
Exactly. Yeah. We love an additional lens, especially an infinite beyond lens too. That's right up my alley, my friend. I'm going to read your bio real quick and then we'll dig in. Does that sound good? All right, my friend. All right, everybody. So for those of you who haven't gotten to know Nigel yet, this is a little bit about him, and then we'll let everything unfold after that. Nigel Gee is a spiritual and well-being mentor specializing in communicating with the intelligence of what is to disperse and reverse layers of dis-ease. Nigel began to receive insights to the reversal of his Crohn's disease symptoms after experiencing years of feeling pain and weakness that interrupted his well-being. Nigel's mediumship and telepathic access propelled his recovery process and now enables him to communicate with the intelligence of pain, vibration, frequency, parallel worlds, dimensions, and all souls. In order to identify reasons for dis-ease and provide spiritual and energetic remedies to activate a restorative healing process, combining the letting go of what doesn't serve our highest good and embodying the infinite love that spirit provides is Nigel's portal for accelerating our well-being journey. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's absolutely beautiful. So what started this process was the Crohn's disease. That was was that the bridge to your awakening? Would that be correct?
Well, it was actually, because I was suffering from all forms of symptoms associated and connected with Crohn's disease. For anybody who doesn't know what Crohn's disease is, it's an inflammatory bowel disorder, and people get affected in different ways. And I remember my parents saying to me many years ago when I was a lot younger that the doctors thought I had a week to live. Anyway, so I came through that, and I was just so used to actually being affected by Crohn's attacks. And then I was given the opportunity to go to this lecture on energy and emotions. And through these lectures, I started to experience an opening with spirit. And it was quite wonderful. And then through a process of many years, going to lectures, doing 1 or 2 courses, my own journey started to open up in its own bespoke way. And I started to receive information and insights for my own journey and for other people's journeys in a way which it was very, very individual. I have to say, when I look back at it now, I wish I had somebody like me to have some answers, to give me the answers, but there was nobody. But the consciousness, the intelligence of consciousness always came through to saying, this is the reason why, this is the reason why. And so after 25 to 30 years of doing this, that's what I facilitate for my clients. So when there is a symptom and something's going on, it's translated immediately to an energetic process. And then the intelligence of that energetic process, the intelligence of that soul journey comes through. And I'm able to receive information and have access to facilitating the release. It is a journey. You know, we all wish that we could just have a spiritual paracetamol in order for our symptoms to disperse and reverse. But there is a journey involved, and there will be a reason for that journey. Sometimes you won't have all that information at hand, but the additional lens that we were given in being able to understand why there is dis-ease in the body and ways of being able to disperse and reverse what doesn't serve us is very much a powerful and influential and helping tool to move us forward.
Yeah, thank you, Nigel. And there's several people in the comments that can relate to Crohn's disease. They've either had it themselves or they know somebody who's close to them who's had it as well. So,
well, interesting, Jennifer. What I found out, and I like to be completely honest with people here, and so therefore, because I had Crohn's disease years ago, and anybody who's had a diagnosed disease, if they have healing and it goes away, it doesn't necessarily mean that in their journey that there's something else that may not actually arise 10, 20, 30 years later, because there are dormant programs and signaling processes that are activated sometimes decades later in one's life. So it's not a very straightforward journey in understanding what it is that we have to contend with and what it is that we have ridden for our journey.
Okay. What do you mean by dormant programs? Because I know we can have dormant viruses that, stay in our bodies and linger, and then, they finally come out, like shingles, for example, things like that too. But by what you were speaking of, are you speaking of that, or you're speaking of energetic processes that, have a place and a plan as part of the soul's journey?
Yeah, dis-ease. I'll give you my understanding of this based on what I've been shown. And my understanding is that every diagnosis that we receive has an intelligence to it. That intelligence is part and parcel of a predetermined program and signaling process that makes up who we are, that navigates our journey when we come down onto the earth plane. So when we have a symptom, the symptom is there for a reason. The symptom is always an integral part of a letting go process, but there is an intelligence with every symptom. So I shared this with you earlier, but prior to coming on this evening, I've had 6 to 7 hours today of an enormous energetic clearing, and I wasn't so sure about how my energy was going to be. Thankfully, it's lifted. So But one never knows what's going to take place for us tomorrow. So therefore, the energetic composition of who we are, our pre-programming and signaling processes, which are an integral part of our energetic imprint, it all has an intelligence. And it's lovely to be able to communicate with that intelligence and be able to highlight and understand what it is that's coming through, what it is that needs to be let go. And then sometimes we just have to be in acceptance. And interesting enough, a form of energetic sabotage that affects us all is not always being able to be in acceptance of what we are going through. And that sometimes compounds the symptoms, extends the symptoms. And one of the affirmations, actually, I use quite regularly with my clients is I ask them to repeat, help me to let go of the need to know. Because it enables an infusion of consciousness' connectivity to actually come in very, very quickly and to disperse and reverse turmoil, emotional upset, discombobulation and agitation in such a way that the body goes, and it's so nice to hear that, and it's so nice to use as well.
Thank you, Nigel. It's so beautiful, and I feel a beautiful frequency of love surrounding your words as you speak. As I listen, it's like, you know, enveloping me in this space. So I have a feeling we're all sharing in that together, and that's such a soft and gentle approach to our physical ailments too, because you're right. What we resist then persists, and you're talking about coming into the flow of what does this issue have to teach me? You know, what is the intelligence? And we think of disease and discomfort as something attacking us and something that's bad. And so we put a resistance into it. And instead of, like you said, leaning into that discomfort, into that pain, and, you know, and being with it. Sometimes, like, if I'm feeling sadness coming on, I realize I have to stop what I'm doing. Like you had your clearing today, and you may have had to stop and take some space to allow that to proceed when you had 10 other things on your list to do. And I just go, oh, my sadness needs me right now. I guess I'm going to have to, you know, put my list to the side and be with it for a few minutes. And then, you know, it's the same thing. So I just let it be and become one with it and hold it as part of me. There's an intelligence in that. And when I do my group healing meditations a couple times a month, I always ask us to send love to all the parts of our body, because our body has been working for us since before we were born. It's literally working for us 24/7, and every cell is incredibly intelligent in what it is doing for us. And that's remarkable. It's like universes within universes. Talk about beyond, right?
No, that's right. And there's a lot that we don't necessarily know that's going on an energetic level. And so what I mean by that is that we all serve each other, but how do we serve each other? One of the ways that we serve each other, that when we come here, we agree to take on other people's energetic imprints to help them release what they need to release, and it comes through our bodies. And so quite often when we feel that we have our own personal symptom and we don't like it, when one actually connects with the intelligence of it, we can find out sometimes. Not we, when I say we, the people who can, there's a lot of people who'd love to do this, and the access is there. It's whether it's meant to be accessible in the individual journey. Is that we actually carry on our family and our generational predetermined programs and signaling, which comes through on an energetic level in our bodies without us even knowing about it. So, you know, in the way, that's how we do serve each other, by clearing on behalf of somebody else. You know, I mean, I have people saying to me all the time, can you tell me, I don't want to carry on clearing so-and-so stuff. But on the soul level, we have to look at the grand scheme of things. And on a soul level, on a physical level, it's not very nice. In the grand scheme of things, we're here to actually help others, and that's one way of doing it.
Yeah, thank you. I just get such a, you know, my whole nervous system relaxed, because there's so much talk about blocking out, And I don't know if we realize our great potential and what a loving thing it is to be able to be transmuters of energy too, and to use the love that is us, tune into the love that is us, and know that nothing can harm us, that we can, and this may take time to learn the process of through our own development, but that we can actually transmute and transform those energies from back long ago or in present, through love and awareness. So that was such a soft and gentle way of how you put it. Thank you.
No, it's a pleasure. I'd like to also give an insight into, bear with me, it was coming through. It's paused. So give me a second, everybody. Right. It's interesting because I get shown ways in how we are as a species are affected with disease. And what's very interesting, when we go to the doctor, we see a consultant. We're so pleased that we can get a diagnosis. But interesting enough, the programming and the signaling of what takes place for us as human beings is that as soon as we get a diagnosis from the consultant, for a lot of us, there's an acceptance of that dis-ease on an energetic level. And so therefore, we can feel relieved that we've actually been diagnosed with a label. But when a doctor actually gives us that label, it has an energetic signaling process that comes through to us. And as soon as we go into acceptance of receiving that dis-ease in terms of that diagnosis, it contributes towards extending that process in which we are afflicted with that diagnosis. So it's something that I'm sure a number of people will say, well, how do we actually not allow that to happen, or how do we get rid of it? Today I wanted to introduce one or two points of information and insights into energetically how energy works. And energy has this intelligence, and it's very gratifying to be able to see the processes in which we are affected. So one could say, well, why on earth would we write that in our story? Why would we write that in our journey? Because it makes no sense to us. But there are reasons for it. And I know, and I'm sure you've seen this or felt this yourself, Jennifer, Kelly, and others, that the time is coming where we are meant to know why we are here. I've already been shown that we're here for a schooling experience. So, because what happens with myself, this is quite interesting, that for a long time I had thoughts and questions coming to my mind. Then I realized that the thoughts and the questions were actually put there for me to ask, for me to receive an answer. And so therefore I knew it wasn't Nigel who was asking that question. So I observed the question coming in, the question going out, and I became aware that I will get an answer when the serendipitous moment was meant to arrive, that the answer was meant to be received. And so the time is coming and I feel that very strongly, that we are meant to know why we're here. And the more we let go of what doesn't serve us, it accentuates our telepathic connection. Because judgment, ego, emotional pain, heartbreak, low self-esteem, trauma, all these sorts of emotions have an energetic composition and an intelligence that is the opposite to unconditional love. And therefore, anything that opposes or is the opposite to unconditional love would always interrupt our telepathic connection, who we innately are. And so, there's a number of us who are here today, who I'm sure, who can't wait to accentuate or to enhance their telepathic connection. And then when we ask the questions, why aren't they talking to me? Why aren't they talking to me? But in the grand scheme of things, there are reasons why we don't or we can't connect in the way that we'd love to connect. It's there, but it's the way that the journey has been written. But a very important point to understand is everything and anything that we hold on to that opposes unconditional love will always affect our telepathic connection. And so the letting go process is continuous. And I'm not just talking about letting go of an emotion that you know, at 15 years old, something happened and there was low self-esteem and emotional pain, and we held on to it. Okay, that's understandable. And there's a process of letting that go. But then there is the accumulative effect of letting go. So what are our chakras holding on to? What are the planets holding on to? What is our perception of our reality holding on to that's blocking us? Because coming back to the beyond is becoming the present. The beyond is becoming the present. So I've asked you this question before about have you experienced the beyond, and you said you're very familiar with it. And it's interesting because your bespoke connection with beyond, I'm sure, will be different to mine, as with everybody else. The way that I see the beyond is the lens that's been given to us, the lens of information and insights of how all this has been put together, not necessarily the why, but initially how all this has been put together. And when we find that out, this is all part of the beyond. And so I'm going to throw something into the mix here. So we believe that we come down from the ultimate, or we come from the ultimate to experience the limited. And then we're yearning to get back to the ultimate again. And then in our mind's eye, we may have a sense, a perception of what the ultimate is. But that's a perception. So therefore there is a beyond that goes beyond our perception. And so therefore the words that we use, such as spirituality, and I want to come back to the word love. The word love is a phenomenal conduit. It's marvelous. It's something that we often feel is the ultimate description to describe what we feel is the ultimate point to reach. But actually, it isn't, because there's a beyond love. Now, you could ask, what is that word that is so powerful that is beyond love? And I've been told by what I call the team, I call them the team, that in the Mayan language, there is a word to describe it, but not being brought up in the Mayan language, I don't know. And so therefore, I just want to leave that information, that insight with everybody, and just let them embody that. I'm not saying that they believe it or disbelieve it, but there is a beyond the ultimate. There is a beyond consciousness. There's a beyond unconditional love. And that's what is of interest to me. Because when we talk about parallel worlds and different dimensions and the elementals, for example, and the Palladians and many others, it's all part of our soul journey. It's all part of our experience. But is it who we truly are as soul beings? And if you were to ask me, what did my team say? The answer is no. Because with me, I see it very simplistically. As a soul being, we come from this place, which is the what is of who we are. And there's nothing to touch that. You can use the word ultimate, you can use consciousness or whatever, like the word you like. But it has a phenomenon to it that we don't really understand. And then there's the soul journey. The soul journey is what we're on here. And therefore, it's a blank canvas. We've written into the soul journey parallel worlds and different dimensions. We've written into this everything that we need to experience. But when the question is, well, what goes on in this soul journey? Is this what goes on back home? I call it home. And the answer is no. So it means that what we're experiencing now is an experience, but don't take that on board as this is it. There's a beyond all of this, which we're waiting to actually rejoin and reconnect to. So please take this message on board with love, or beyond love, which is even better.
Oh, beyond. I know I've had discussions with certain people about like beyond the beyond, beyond the beyond, and it's like it gets mind-boggling, but exciting and fascinating too. I've got several questions and comments, if it would be okay, Nigel, because Judith had a comment, and then Vivian and Evelyn both had some questions as well. Judith was talking about the difference between, I think it was Kelly, there we go. Oh, okay, yeah, if we detach from life experience, we detach from life too. So she was talking about, so how, and that kind of ties in with Evelyn's questions of how to let go. So how do we understand that things are not us and let go of them without disassociating or detaching them and not like fully experiencing the human? Do I have that right, Judith and Evelyn, of what you were thinking there?
It's not about, I don't see it about detaching from life's experience, because we have this experience for a reason. So it's about being able to live in harmony with one's spiritual connection and one's enhanced reconnection to the phenomenon that we are as spiritual beings, but at the same time know that there's a life to be lived. And so quite often I've gone through this experience, and maybe you have, Jennifer, and a lot of other people, that when we initially embrace this connectivity to spirituality and our learning starts to unfold, sometimes we're in a space of bliss and harmony and of lightness, where that's the place where we want to stay. But we are meant to live in this life. And so it's about balance. Yeah. It's about balance. And it's not about detaching from life itself, because life itself actually is here for a reason. It's here to give us lessons. Now, it's be interesting to think or to understand what other people feel about what a lesson is. I see a lesson is to acknowledge, accept, and let go. How many times, for example, we get a message from a family friend or a family member, and the number of times we hear the same message, we hear it, but we don't embody it. And it could be 3 years later, 4 years later, all of a sudden, a neighbor will come up with that, and all of a sudden, whoosh, we embody it, we get it. And that's where the resonance and the understanding, and it's that moment of resonance and understanding of embodying that message. You can't accelerate that. When it's meant to take place in your journey, it's meant to take place. There's other people who are along the path who just put up a sign, can you just listen to this message, it's for you. But if it's been written into one's journey that you're not meant to hear that message in that particular moment, you're not going to get it, which means the impact and the truth and the accuracy of that message won't be embodied by the individual. So therefore they carry on. And the word embody is very, very important, because you can call it resonance if you wish. But it's be interesting how, when you get your messages, Jennifer, for example, what your experience is. When I get a message about some new information, when I get information, I access it. When I access it, part of my accessing it is because I embody it so quickly. It's not that I asked for it to happen like that, but that's the process which is being shown to me. As soon as I receive some information, I embody it. I'm there. As I'm there, I can then access that information. I can access that intelligence, and that intelligence will then speak to me and give me insights galore about another person's journey and what it is that needs to be let go. Talking about letting go, Jennifer, and is it Judith who may have asked a question?
Yeah, she's moving through some grief. There was a recent passing of a young person in her family. Yeah, Judith Miller is a fabulous medium and a physical medium as well, in our community as well. So I want to give a lot of love to Judith. Hi, Val. Yeah.
Judith, give me a second. So what I'm doing now, Judith, is I'm linking into your energetic imprint. And what that means is that your soul, your higher self, for example, is here. Everybody's here today. The higher selves are here. And I'm able to speak to all of them. So as I'm speaking to Jennifer and connecting in with you, there's a reason why your higher self wanted to speak to me, is because show me what it is that's blocking your letting go. So if you don't mind me very briefly giving you an insight about it, it's to do with your energetic composition. I'm going to mention something now which a lot of people may not be aware of. There's different words to describe what I'm going to describe, but I use a word to describe it. There's all forms of energy, vibration, and frequencies, and they all have a set of intelligence. And with our energy movement, it's meticulously guided for our journey and navigates us with meticulous precision. One set of energies that actually blocks us significantly, we don't know why it's been written into our journey. It's called sabotage. And we understand the word sabotage, but sometimes we can do something, say something, we feel we've sabotaged ourselves. But I'm going to give you an insight to a different form of sabotage. And it's called spiritual sabotage. And what it is, it's an energy, it's a programmed intelligence that is there to actually come in when we least expect it, to sometimes block what we want most. So most of you wouldn't necessarily have heard of that phrasing before or that terminology, which is fine. But to answer the question, how do I help let go? If there is a blockage in letting go, there can be a number of reasons why, in terms of your particular programming and your signaling process, that you feel that it's just not going. So speak to your body, speak to your higher self. And if you can repeat, I let go. Now, the reason why I'm saying this now is because this message is coming through from pure love to help you do this. And so therefore, from today, if you say I let go, the I let go will encompass so many areas of letting go, which you won't have any idea about what you need to let go of. But don't worry about it. The most important thing is, by us communicating now, we're opening up a process for you to use the I let go, just those 3 words. And those 3 words will encompass and integrate the letting go aspects which you haven't been able to let go of. And without a doubt, in a brief space of time, you're going to feel shifts and they will accumulate. But it is important to use the I let go on a daily basis. So please take that with love.
That was beautiful, Nigel. Thank you. I know those words have helped me a lot when I've moved through grief and difficult processes too, just to say that. And it's not the same as resisting. It's not the same as disassociating. It's like of moving into the flow, like we were talking about the ocean last night. It's just like moving into the flow and kind of accepting and, allowing things to be. And it's a softness to that too. So I'm so happy that Judith was able to make it here. She's a beautiful friend of mine, beautiful medium, beautiful soul. So I'm so happy we're all connecting. I did want to.
Sorry, I've just had a comment by Evelyn Chesham, and she said,
Evelyn,
Evelyn, sorry, I so needed to hear this.
Yeah.
And do you know what's so wonderful about being on, your platform, Jennifer?
Yeah.
Is that my 25 to 30 years of learning with the team, as I call it, to come out with this pearl of wisdom, but it's not just a pearl of wisdom, it's a phenomenal power through an affirmation. And for Evelyn to say, I so needed to hear this. And so out of the whole evening, if it's just one person who just needed to hear this response, this insight, to say, oh my gosh, but that evidently really resonated and it connected.
Yeah.
Really so pleased that. So thank you for your response, Evelyn. Thank you.
We love you, Evelyn. We love our Judith. And another gal was saying she just texted the message to a friend who's going through a dark time. So we're the ripple effect is already happening, and we're just like halfway through here. So that's so beautiful. Kelly, could we put up Vivian's question to Vivian is already going through a lot of physical pain right now from an accident too. So she had a question as well. If we could put that, how do you accept severe pain due to something broken in your body? So it's just broken bones, things like that. It feels like all of the alarms go off in your body and you feel like you need to be patient.
Really good question.
Yeah,
Really good question. How do you accept severe pain due to something broken in your body? Okay. Is it fair for me to ask on this public platform what's broken in your body?
Vivian, are you okay to offer that in the you can just say yes or no. We're here for you too. It takes a little minute for that. In the meantime, there's a lot of love going out to each other. Dina says, I needed this too. It's permission to be free. Vivian also was asking, why do we experience pain? She says yes. So she's going to her spine. Her spine was broken.
Okay.
Yeah, that's hard. That's a, yeah.
It is. There are steps. There are steps that one can take to alleviate pain. So there's a logic of having a broken spine. So if one has I'm just assuming this, but if you've had a broken spine, it could be that you've already had a procedure or an operation. If somebody's had a procedure or an operation, and I know this sounds a bit strange to some people, this is how we serve each other. Because what happens when you're in the consultant's room, and as soon as the anesthetic comes in, or as soon as the body's starting to be opened, what happens, depending on the agreement between the recipient, the person who's having the procedure or the operation, and the anaesthetist and the consultant and everybody else is around to help that body with the broken spine, there can be an influx of different emotions and different feelings and different thoughts, which are integrated into the people in the surgeon's room, as it were, that then gets transmitted into the individual who's having the operation. I know it sounds strange, but I see it all the time. And so it means that after an operation, after a procedure, one hopes that one will have less pain. But what's interesting is that after the procedure, there's a number of things that can take place which will ensure that pain or discomfort of the body can still exist. And that is because, first of all, the person who's had the operation will act as a conduit or conductor for their own journey's emotional pain and an emotional energetic imprint to come to the surface through that area where they've had the operation, which needs to be let go. That's one area. Another area is if it has been agreed prior to you coming to the earth plane and with the consultant, for example, and with the anaesthetists who are present, that even though you're having an operation, you're going to be taking on their stuff, as it were, through that that space that you're all in. That very often happens. So quite often what's coming up, which is seen and seen as physical pain, and we don't understand why that physical pain is there, the physical pain will always have a message. The physical pain will always have an intelligence. And the intelligence will always identify where is it coming from. So really, what's the remedy? It's not so straightforward to say what's the remedy on a broken spine, but it's quite interesting, the word broken, because that in itself has an intelligence to it. And then if one goes into the intelligence of the word broken to find out why is it that was given to you to actually put on the screen to say broken spine, something has been broken in terms of Vivian's journey. Is it Vivian? Yeah, Vivian's journey. Whether it be past life, parallel worlds, different dimensions, or whatever it may be, there's a whole concoction of information which is there, which is without doubt definitively connected with the word broken. So it's not as easy, or it can't be identified necessarily just in one short presentation like today. It needs to be forensically tracked through one's energetic imprint and journey to find out, why is it Vivian said the word broken? Now, the reason why I say Vivian used the word broken is because we are all guided with absolute precision here. And so a number of mediums and different people, so we all have free will. It'd be interesting to understand your version of that, Jennifer, because my perspective is we've agreed to come here. That's where the free will sits. If you
Yeah.
And then back home, as soul beings, there's no such thing as free will. It's all a perception of our reality, and we have free will, we don't have free will, and it creates conversations. But back home, as soul beings, there's none of that. We don't even have to worry about it. It's just whatever the ultimate is back home. And so we've come down here, and I've lost my train of thought, so I do apologize. But I'm glad Vivian said, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
And let go of the energy. I've taken it in my body. So, all right, let me come back to that, Vivian. What will help you enormously? So bear with me for 1 second. But also, what happens when I link into your higher self and your, what I call your spiritual team? They're very, very close to you, Vivian, and they're saying that everything that I've just said to you is spot on. So I'm glad you said, wow, that makes sense, because obviously there's a resonance there. But you don't have to know the full story. What I normally get is given affirmations, which is their unconditional love, if you want to call it that, which is held in this crystal-like affirmation to say that, please use this. So I'm just going to see what they want to say, Vivian, to help you. What I'm getting for you, Vivian, is just please use the I let go on a daily basis. And but they're also saying to you, Vivian, please be patient. So I've just asked the question, why have you said that? Why have you said, please be patient? Because this is quite interesting. What's not helping your current physical environment is impatience. And so we do understand that when we're unwell, when we have pain, we can get so furious about it. But fury is an emotion that doesn't serve the body, and it actually compounds it can compound the existing symptoms that we have. So when I receive that information, please be patient. What this actually means for you, Vivian, is when you use the I let go, your team will come through to you to help disperse your impatience, which has an energetic composition to it. It has an intelligence to it that currently is just all around your spine, the impatience. So, and we need to actually disperse and reverse that. And they are promising you that if you invest in the I let go, use it daily, resonate with it, embody it, utilize it, within several days, they're saying that you will see a palpable and sensitive but gradual shift in what we've been discussing. So please take that on board, and they and I send you our love.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Nigel. Wondering too if we might be able to. We've got Evelyn and Val, and Evelyn, it's her birthday today, and I know she's been working through bodily issues as well. If Evelyn, you're willing to share a little bit, I know she put in a couple comments a little bit higher up too. And then Jill is asking about Parkinson's. And Val also had a spinal injury about 20 years ago too. And she was saying also, so we've got just so many beautiful questions here. Val is also saying, I feel lost as to what my life looks like here or how I fit into my new life here too. So she's going through a lot of changes too. And then was also making the connection to her spine as well too. But can we put up Evelyn's comment too? or do you want to? I just gave you a bunch to work with there. Right.
All of them, but if you just give me one question at a time so I can link in.
Yeah, Evelyn is saying, I want to heal. She's the birthday girl. I want to heal, but I'm not certain what's holding me even back. Perhaps it's so buried in my past that I'm not aware to unlock it. So, yeah.
Okay.
I think the things I'm not aware is holding me back, is what she's saying.
Can you bring that back on? Can you bring
Yes,
that back
Kelly, can we put that last comment on from Evelyn? And Evelyn, if you wanted to share any details, you can, but if you don't want to, that's okay too. We respect her privacy.
I want to heal, but so buried in. I'm not so buried. Okay, that's interesting. You want to, but it's so buried. So, what I see with you, Evelyn, are different forms of emotions which are holding on to as part of who you are. And so, for example, I'm just going to give you a generalized response, but actually I'm referring to your energetic imprint. When somebody has traits such as low self-esteem or low self-worth, low self-empowerment, it has an intelligence to it, and it will have an effect differently for different people. And so therefore, just having, even if you had it when you were 5 years old or 10 years old and you don't feel you got it anymore, if one had low self-esteem or low self-empowerment all those years ago, the energetic imprint of that can, does, and will have an existing effect on interrupting one's telepathic connection. So what do I mean by that? Oh, that's interesting. Couldn't stomach love. So
she put up her ailments as well, shoulder, spine, and intestinal.
Oh, right. So that's spot on, isn't it? Thank you. Exactly. Yeah. Self-esteem. So I was actually linking into you just said, and I knew that was the case, but I didn't want to specifically say that, but you've confirmed it. So thank you very much. Yeah. Now, when there's low self-esteem, low self-empowerment, lack of confidence, in one way or another, it's got little like tentacles to it. It goes off like branches of a tree. And it all actually comes back to lack of self-love. So when there's lack of self-love, wow, that's a biggie. And if that is a predetermined program and signaling process that sits in one's energetic imprint, it's pre-programmed to influence and interrupt a person's energy flow in different ways. It could be relationships, it could be one's career path, and definitely on the physical. But it's interesting that you said to do with your stomach, because when I saw the word stomach, without a doubt, a lot of the energetic imprint of low self-esteem or low self-empowerment is very much circulating around the intestines and the intestinal processes. And once again, you know, when I speak with my clients, I get different affirmations that correspond to where they are in that particular moment. But in today's process, I would urge you to speak to your body and use the I let go. Now, what happens when you use an affirmation, I let go? It's not just 3 words, I let go. Essentially, your soul wants you to participate with this connection. And so when you say I let go, one has to be patient. There are a number of different uncomfortable emotions going on that evening, as I said, to do with low self-esteem, low self-empowerment, but also you've picked up transfers from your family dynamic where they've got that sort of emotional connection in spades. It's an English term. Okay, what I mean by that is that there's a significant element of low self-esteem and low self-empowerment. That energetic imprint is actually sitting within the family dynamic. And you're serving some of the rest of the family by actually taking it on yourself. But now that we're discussing it, without a doubt, please use the I let go. And I just want to go back to backs, by the way.
So, yeah, that's showing up a lot of back injury, a lot of back issues or injuries. Scoliosis as well showed up with Stacia.
Okay, so it must have been about 12 years ago. Over a period of 18 months, I had to have 2 back operations. So, wow. I do understand, when people say my back.
Yeah.
Now, it's interesting where we went to go. I had a back operation and I had a bit of a limp afterwards, and my first one in the UK. Then I went on holiday 18 months later to Turkey, and all of a sudden, the area in my back went again, and I was in so much pain. I had to have an emergency operation in Turkey. But isn't it interesting that the neurosurgeon who was in Turkey, I knew by speaking to my team that he was the person who was meant to do my second back operation. And so therefore there's a serendipity in everything that takes place. It's all guided with absolute precision. And, all these years later, I do exercises and stretches. And sometimes I may get a discomfort here and discomfort there. But in that moment when there's discomfort, there's a message in the discomfort. And so therefore, not everybody can get that message. I do understand that, and I acknowledge that. But always do what you can do. If one has been suggested doing stretches, for example, or something like that, and it's good for you, maintain it. But combine that with the I Let Go. The I Let Go is a phenomenally powerful, what I would say, it's an intelligence that has become my best friend. So for everybody here, please utilize it. Please use it on a daily basis, because some people will be able to embody it a lot quicker than others, because everybody has a different journey. So yeah, you're right, Stasia. So many back issues for everybody. And it's interesting. Let me tell you what goes on in the back. The back is a spiritual gateway. So therefore, coming from the base chakra, going up into the base of the spine, going all the way up vertically, going all the way further up into thousands of chakras and vortexes. Whenever there is a disturbance in the back, it's always connected with isolation, detachment, emotional pain, trauma with one's spiritual connection. So you're getting a confirmation of this, Jennifer, as I'm speaking to you. I don't know if you would confirm that, but they're telling me you're getting a confirmation of this.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
And they're saying you're getting confirmation because there's a message in this for you. So, in your own time, darling, if you're not too disconnected. And by the way, my wife is looking at this. So I say darling in a very endearing way to you.
That's okay.
So my wife, Erica, my soulmate, is in the next room.
Oh, you're blessed. You're blessed.
I am blessed. So yes, the back is integral to our reconnection to who we are as soul beings. There is always a message in the spine, because there's an intelligence that comes up with pain and disturbance. And, we don't have to know what is it that we have broken in the past life or in our soul journey that has caused us to agree that we need to go through this process in this journey. The most important thing is to not to become a victim. Because when we become a victim, it has an energy to it. It has an intelligence to it. And as soon as one goes into victim mode, whoosh, one gets gravitated into a space where it just draws us down, and it has a form of sabotage to it, which means it has an intelligence to it, and it loves it. But victim mode is so uncomfortable, it's so disturbing, and I would urge everybody, if you can become aware of whether, if and should you experience being in a victim mode moment or process, tell yourself it doesn't serve you. Speak to the victim mode and the energy and intelligence and saying, I let go. And some of you may like this particular affirmation, which I have sometimes used in the past, which I give out. Whatever pain that one has or discomfort, whether it's psychological, emotional, and physical, speak to it. And when you speak to it, saying, I love you, and I know you love me, and now it's time to set you free.
Yeah. Pain is not an enemy. Yeah.
Yes. And that in itself is a fabulous conduit for the letting go process.
I love you, and you love me. It's time to set you free. That's beautiful. Yeah. It's interesting because I gave that little bit before I brought you on stage here of trying to explain to people. I was like, I just want to give you a little 3D thing before we go into beyond, you know, and I was talking about learning to be friends with discomfort, you know, and to actually even welcome it in or find ways to move into it so that we can adapt and acclimate to it. And that way we're making our friends, but it's using us to build us and make us stronger and make us realize what we're capable of and integrate. So, you know, for example, like I do these very difficult workouts with a trainer and we're always like, do hard things. You can do hard things. You can do hard things. And so that's why I'm trying to tell people like, we can do hard things. And that is the opposite of victim mode of I'm a victim to everything. I can't do this. I can't, it's too hard. It's too, you know, we can.
Yes.
We can. We absolutely can. And then that's where all of the gold starts to come in. All of the gifts start to come in, where we change, the reality actually does change into bringing in the things that we say we want, but have a hard time accessing.
Jennifer, so, I don't know who mentioned it, Evelyn perhaps. Something, I don't subscribe to the doctor's reality. Now, it's quite interesting. Whoever mentioned that just came up before.
That was Evelyn. That was Evelyn. Yeah.
The doctor's reality. Well, there's a myriad of information there because, you know, when I first came into this work, the first thing that I used to think of, oh wow, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could actually help somebody to actually disperse their dis-ease without them having to go to the doctor, without them having to take tablets. And then through my journey of non-judgment and understanding, and my insights, it was, whoa, the person who's come down to actually study to become a doctor, to go through years of university and to assimilate that information in order for whenever we're meant to go to the doctor and meet him, for us to be a recipient of that person's expertise, we've got to be appreciative and in a place of understanding and gratitude that they are there to help us. So when I say there's a myriad of information, because of course, sometimes you can go to a doctor and say, no, I don't subscribe to that. And it could be that in one's journey, you're not supposed to subscribe to that because one has a resonance, one has a feeling, one has a thought, no, I will choose a different route to go down, or route, as you would say, or a different path to go down. And I would say to everybody here that in our journey, wherever we're meant to be, we're meant to be, and one can never make a wrong decision. And so therefore, sometimes when we go to a doctor, even if we don't want to go to a doctor, and if we have to have an operation, even if we don't have to have an operation, through that process, we are facilitating an agreement with our journey that we've agreed to be in that space when we came down here to go through what we're meant to go through. I don't say that glibly, because sometimes it's very, very hard. But when one can actually just take a step back and see the bigger picture from a spiritual journey perspective. In my first operation, for example, I was in pain for 6 weeks. And I said to Erica, my wife, okay, I'm not sure what I'm going to do here, because either this is going to go by itself or I'll need an operation. Anyway, to cut long story short, I ended up in hospital. And then the consultant said to me, right, okay, well, we can let it go, but you can have an operation. In that moment, that's when I knew. So sometimes we're taken to a precipice where we're dying, not dying, but, you know, we're in need of information to give us an answer. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And what do I do? And that's part of, you know, our human existence to go through that. But there will always be an outcome. And it's just about hopefully trying to be in a place of patience. And that's why using the affirmation, I let go, or I let go of the need to know, is so helpful to bring us into harmony and balance and groundedness, whilst we're taken through a process of actually reaching the outcome that we've agreed that we would reach.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Nigel. Thank you. Thank you. If we have just a few minutes, I wanted to address Jill, because she was questioned about her Parkinson's. And I know she's very positive about working towards her recovery. And she says she has immense respect and gratitude for all her medical professionals who have helped her the past 16 years as well.
So is that Jill? Jill has got Parkinson's?
Yes.
Okay. I've worked with people with Parkinson's. It's interesting because when one links into a person's energetic imprint in their journey and then speaks directly to the Parkinson's process, and that's what I do, then a whole load of information comes up. And the jittering that takes place, or the quivering of the hands that can take place, yes, it's definitely connected with the neurological system, but within the neurological system and the nerve endings, there's a number of different energetic compositions taking place there. And bear with me, because I'm getting a message for you, Jill. So, and what I really love about what you said, that you have immense respect and gratitude to all the medical professionals. So they've helped you to the utmost that they've been able to. But then sometimes one's just, if one can, look at one's healing journey through an additional lens. And therefore, sometimes you need somebody to be able to do that. And I understand you may not be able to do it yourself, but as you're here and I'm here, I'm going to help you.
Yeah, she's very positive, about all forms of healing.
Oh, wonderful. So Jill, give me a second. I don't know if this makes sense to you, Jill, but there's a lot of detachment and isolation, which is embedded in your family dynamic. And so through different individuals, there's a form of isolation and detachment. So that can be identified as a lack of emotional intelligence, a lack of empathy, a lack of understanding, a lack of communication, a lack of interaction, a lack of being able to express one's truth. And everything I've just said, it seems there are different layers belonging to different people, which are sitting there in your family dynamic. All I would say to you is that there is more to give you, but perhaps not on a public platform. So you've got my website there. If you want to send me an email, and I will be able to have a WhatsApp video with you and bring in your spiritual team and communicate a lot more, perhaps in a much more confidential setting, if you're interested.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Nigel. I know we're getting a little close to time because Kelly has her live in an hour, but I just wanted to read a few comments. Val was saying, and look, lots of love to you, Jill. Val was saying, no wrong decisions, only different ones. We're always on the right path because it's our path, it's our life. We couldn't possibly get off of it. That's true. I agree with you there. Arnie was saying he rejected surgery for his back and neck and used sound and vibration to get past it. Walked with a cane and was only able to go a block, use alternative medicine, and set himself free. So that was beautiful. And Jill, who you just spoke to, said, no victims here. Thank you for the let it go mantra. And Val said she got her message, so she's good. She got it through the others, so that's beautiful. She heard what she needed to hear. Ava Bergstrom, who you know, has been helped and healed in so many ways, thanks to using letting go as well too. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Colin Walker from the Menorca Consciousness Group. He does a lot of letting go work as well. I feel like you two would vibe really well together. So I should have you two in again. Yeah.
He invited me onto his Menorca Consciousness to give a talk. And then I did send him some information about the beyond, the beyond, the beyond. And so he's most probably embracing that. But I believe there's a message if we're coming to the end of this.
Yes, like a group message for everybody.
Yes.
Yes, beautiful.
First of all, there's such love from me and from what I call the team for every one of you, because our journeys can be arduous. They can be frustrating. They can be emotionally painful. And I'm sure Jennifer has experienced that. And I know I've experienced that. And it gives us solace to be able to be, and it gives us gratitude to be able to interact and communicate with the intelligence of who we are powerfully as a spiritual phenomenon, that with the messages that we get, you can't get from an X-ray, you can't get from a CT scan, you can't necessarily get from a consultant who sometimes, unfortunately, have a lack of empathy when giving a diagnosis. So there is a message coming in for everybody. The I Let Go is an affirmation that has been directly channeled over the last 20 years, 25 years to me, alongside other affirmations. And indeed, all of you are invited to use it. All of you are invited to embody it. And then there'll be some of you who will be able to connect with the intelligence in such a way that you'll only be too pleased that this has been highlighted in today's platform, on today's platform. So please use it with love, and it was a pleasure to be your messenger this evening.
Thank you, Nigel. It's been a beautiful hour. I do hope that you could return again. We could do a part 2 maybe too. So I feel like it would be very well received by everybody here today. What a blessing we've had. It's been a little bit of work for me to hold the energy. There's been so much healing that's being offered while we're speaking. You know, there's extraordinary frequency of spirit and love that's connecting all of us here together today. And I can feel a lot of healing helpers and healing teams have been using this space and this energy to give healing to everybody who's joined and connected to us right now. So just know, everybody, that you've been getting some good gifts here today. You've been receiving. You came to the right place at the right time. This was the place to be today here too. So but yeah, it's the frequency of love is so high that I'm like, wow, so I'm really staying grounded in my body with it. And Val has said it perfectly. Thank you for your authenticity, Nigel, and sharing your gifts with the world. That's perfect. Yeah. Val's a friend of mine too. She is just pure unconditional love. Hi, Steve. Good to see you. So everybody is just so grateful. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Please, everybody, stay on for in an hour. Kelly Brickle, our producer and creator of the Sacred Spiral Network, will be on with the numerology hour. And once again, Sunday service with guest medium Simon Stone, great medium, great guy, coming on this coming Sunday, www.mediumjenniferrose.com. Nigel's website is right here on the banner, and it's in all of the postings as well too with his bio. He's also on Facebook. You can find him. And so join us for a Sunday service, 10 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. in the UK. It's our first one after summer break. It's a very loving and healing space. So we do hope you'll join us. Miss Kelly will be there as well. Monday is Fashionably Spiritual with Nancy Muratala at 6 p.m. Pacific, 2 a.m. in the UK Tuesday. And also, once again, my California Dreaming Power of 8 West Coast California mediums are coming together for the kids, for a couple of charities, to do a fundraiser with all forms of mediumship, psychic, evidential mediumship, ribbon readings, animal communication, angel readings, psychic readings, numerology, you name it, we've got it. And we have live vocals from Suri Sawyer, who literally has the voice of an angel. So that's a week from Sunday, also on my website. So thank you for letting me get all of that out. And with that, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here today and sharing your love, your energy, your space. Please, we'll say a final affirmation that all of this beautiful, high frequency, infinite, intelligent energy that we've been in today is truly blessed with. May it be infinitely multiplied and spread across this beautiful planet and beyond to all other planets, all other realities, all other dimensions, making it all of a higher frequency so that we can continue to evolve in our evolution and expand our consciousness and awareness and become closer in love and bonding harmony with the one consciousness that we all know ourselves to be part of. And especially our beautiful children. They are the future generation. So we send love to them. We grow our reality even faster and better. So with that, live well, love you well, and walk each step with grace, my beautiful friends. We look forward to seeing you next Friday on Embracing Infinity with Manuela Marks. Very excited to have her on, another beautiful soul. And Nigel, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. And thank you, Kelly Brickle, our producer. We love you, girl. Lots of love to everybody. Happy Friday, happy weekend, aloha. Bye, everyone. Thank you.